if you didn't know, this is the Morning Wood NFL Sunday here, brought to you by Rumpier Sports.
What up, boys? We're back with the Golf Wars Show, the preeminent golf show on the entire internet.
Huge weekend of baseball coming up. We haven't really had a final week like this in a while where there's so many teams that are still alive.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone! Unbelievable! Home run for Gibson. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone! Gibby Infrani!
They might have the best pass rush in football.
They were adamant about not having a slow start.
How many times have they disappointed us? So I'm having a lot less of this game.
The game is over. The New York Jets are the world champions. Mahomes swings it. It's there! Hardman! Jackpot! Kansas City! The Chiefs are back-to-back Super Bowl champions!
Welcome to Pickin' Winners. This is Run Pure Sports, RPS. And I love the intro, man. But boy, in the last couple of weeks, have we had some moments that we could pop on there? Some new all-time moments? I mean, Ohtani.
That game. I think that was the best game I've ever seen played in
What
any
do you
sport.
think? I mean, you couldn't. We were trying. I mean, we discussed this, and then I've discussed this with with other people. And what could you possibly do in another sport? Like outside, you'd have to play quarterback, throw like 3 or 4 interceptions, then play defensive back and pick off 3 and run 1 for a touchdown. I think to be comparable.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And baseball pitching and it's like 2 different sports.
Yeah.
Like you could get like a Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, I'm sure could play defense, right? Like they're just elite athletes. Tom Brady, no. Peyton Manning, no. Those guys weren't playing. So quarterback could be a little bit. That would be the closest thing I think you get to what a pitcher and a hitter could do in the same game.
Yeah,
without a doubt. Well, listen, we've got NBA now in full swing, and look, I think that's one of the things here at RPS. I think thanks to you that we are strongest at. NBA, look, you can get all the projections you want. At the end of the day, you've got to make stands on where you think the minutes are going to be, what the usage is going to be on these players. I think that's what you do maybe better than anybody and why you've had so much success in the NBA. So are you enjoying I know you don't enjoy the fact that you've got the 3-4 hours of work every night, but are you happy that NBA's back?
Yeah, I mean, financially, NBA is wonderful, but from a social life standpoint, hopefully this year I'm not having to do as much. I did get season tickets to the Grizzlies. I mean, I'm putting them up for sale most of the time, I would imagine, but I'm hoping to actually like go out and do things at night sometimes during NBA rather than sitting in a chair for 10 hours straight.
You got to move further west.
Yeah. When I lived in Vegas, what's great about that is, you're done at 7 rather than 10:30 or whatever. So you can actually like go out and have dinner and shit rather than, East Coast where you're just screwed. I mean, now I'm on Central Time, so it's not quite as bad, but yeah. Like it used to be like every night, my wife was already asleep by the time I was done. Now, at least like she's in bed, but not like asleep yet.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if she's happy about that or not, but does she like this new haircut?
No. She
likes the beard better. She likes all the hair.
No, well, she likes it in the middle ground, obviously, where I look normal. Yeah, like if I had hair like a little longer than yours and then a beard that was like trimmed, that would be ideal for her. Not the way that I do it, which is to just shave it all off and then let it go for a year and then do it again. Because I did this exact same thing at the beginning of NFL season last year.
Yes.
But yeah.
Well, it worked out. There was a big winner in there last year, so maybe
Maybe I just needed to shave it.
Oh man. Well, we don't want to know where else you're letting it grow or shaving right now. I think we're satisfied with just seeing that what we got on screen. But listen, we've got NFL. Obviously, we're going to be talking about that game that was a boring game last night. We've had some good.
I didn't watch it. But...
Were you out? Were you out last night or?
No. I mean, once I saw, I bet heavy on the Chargers. Once I saw they went up big, I just was like, all right, I'm not watching this.
I had, man, it's starting early. My nephew, 11 years old, they get a phone call at 8:00 last night. He's like, Uncle Johnny, I need help with my fantasy team. I'm like, oh boy, it's starting. So we picked up Gaddison. So that was, so that wound up being a good move. So I text him, boom, thinking like, hey, I'm cool. I'm young and hip. As soon as he scores the first touchdown, the reply back was question mark. And I go, we just scored. I go, we got the first touchdown. And then he's like, yes, not even watching the game, but we got him a touchdown in there. I had a nice night.
He had a good night.
The guy who did not was Quentin John. I had to double check and see if he actually played. I'm like, did I miss something? Was he not in the game? He did not even get, I don't think he got a target last night. He didn't hit the stat sheet.
They got up so many.
Yeah, at some point, though, you'd think he accidentally gets a target.
I mean, Keenan Allen didn't really get shit either.
Well, at least I think he had 4 for 44, which wasn't great. But, yeah, Keenan Allen. But McConkey got a bunch. But I guess this Gaddison, he looks the part.
Looks like his dad.
What's up?
Looks like his dad.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, and he was like a 5th-round pick. It's been like the last 3 weeks now. It's really starting to come on. Obviously, the week before had a monster week, but this is a great week last week for him. But yeah, boring game. I don't know what Minnesota's going to do here. Now, I mean, obviously Wentz is not the answer. We haven't seen a whole lot of McCarthy, but he didn't look all that great when he was in there. McCarthy. Minnesota, I think the Chargers have been up and down, but I think they'll still be competitive when they're getting the blocking, when that offensive line is blocking.
Alt was back yesterday. Joe Alt was back yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. When their offensive line is healthy here and they're getting the block, this is going to be a tough team to.
But Slater's not coming back, so I don't know.
But we got a lot of. I don't know if I think maybe the NFL is starting to shape up a little bit. All right, hold on. I asked you last week. Let's see if you changed your mind. Who's the best team in the NFL right now? Yeah, you did change your mind.
It's Kansas City.
It is, right?
It's Kansas City.
It's not Green Bay.
It's not. Green Bay's offense looks pretty disjointed. I mean, I know Jacobs was sick, but
I don't think that was the reason. I think that's kind of what they've looked like. I mean,
the defense is good, but Jordan Love he's been bad. I don't know. Obviously they're still live, but I think neutral field right now, Kansas City's got to be the best team by a pretty substantial amount, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, it's tight. In my stuff has it really tight. I do have Kansas City number 1 right now, and I've got the Colts as the number 2. I mean, you can't deny what the Colts have done.
And if you look this week, the Colts opened at like 12, and now it's up to 15.5 at Circa. Like the sharper books are higher on the Colts this week, like with this giant spread. It's insane.
Yeah, we'll get to that, but I'm kind of in. My number was 15 on that game as well, so I did think that number came in a little light, and now it's moved right to where my numbers are. So yeah, let's jump into the games this week and see what you like here, see what we both like. We'll start with a barn burner. Listen, you got maybe one of these teams is moving in the right direction. We've got the Bengals hosting the no-win New York Jets. 6.5 here on this line. The Bengals seem to be improved with the veteran in there with Flacco quarterback, and we're going to get Tyrod Taylor. We're not going to have to watch.
Although Tyrod Taylor's got an injury now.
So that means
they don't know who's going to play.
Well, would it be Fields? I don't even know. I didn't hear about this Tyrod Taylor.
It would be Fields if he can't play.
I would think so.
Yeah, he picked up some kind of knee or something in practice.
Well, that's going to be interesting here. What are we thinking? So the line is right now over on DraftKings. You could lay, you're laying 6 with the Bengals -112, and they've got it at 44.5, -112 on the over. Are you kind of waiting to see what the quarterback situation here? Do you like anything either way?
Yeah, I mean, I think I like Cincinnati either way, but I would prefer they face Taylor. I know that some people think that Fields is worse than Tyrod Taylor, but against a team with a defense as bad as Cincinnati, I think Fields' ability to run will be a little more effective than it would be against a team with a good defense. Because it's kind of rudimentary, but the Bengals can't fucking stop anything. So I think that I would prefer that Taylor played being on the Bengals, but I like the Bengals to cover pretty much either way and the under.
You know what's interesting? This is one game. Usually my spreads, my lines are pretty close to the market. I am way off this one because I've got the Bengals much worse than I think the market has. Now I've got to adjust it.
That's because Flacco's only played a couple games.
Exactly. But how much are we adjusting for Flacco? How much is Flacco worth here over what Browning was?
It's got to be like 4 or 5 points at this point.
Yeah,
because Browning just looked so bad at the end.
He did.
Bad.
He did, and I agree. It could be. I was in the.
I'm surprised they didn't cut him.
I know it was bad, but I was in the 3.5, 4. Like I've got this game. If you just look at the stats for the season, don't make any changes, adjustments for the quarterbacks. I have this as an even game in Cincinnati because I have the Jets actually better. The Jets have been.
Well, that's the thing. It could also be a different quarterback for the Jets. Like
it's very hard. Exactly. It's going to be very hard to figure out. The one thing about the Jets, they haven't won, but they've been in a lot of these games. They've just been in them ugly.
They should have won the Tampa game. They should have
won the Denver game.
They should have won the Pittsburgh game. They should have won a few of them. But I think the Bengals are, the Jets aren't. I mean, I guess Sauce Gardner on Chase, but I just don't see them stopping them as much.
I like the total at 44 as well, which is where the market is. So I've got this one pretty even. Like I said, I've got it like 22 on both sides. So 44 on the total. I'm going to lean the Jets just because I just think this number is still a little bit inflated. Even if I factor in Flacco, I'll give them another 3 points here based on the numbers because Flacco is built into these numbers for 2 games. I still think I'm getting a good price here on the Jets. You like Cincinnati a bit. Do you like anything on the total? Do you think this game you like
under.
the over?
I think it's under.
You think it's an under? Okay. All right. So you're going to go Cincinnati under. I don't have a strong opinion on the total. I'll just go with you.
Especially if Tyrod plays. If Tyrod plays, it's a stone under.
So with Fields, you're just leaning under.
Fields, Tyrod doesn't have any the strength in Tyrod is that he's not going to fuck up. But he's not going to – there's no explosive plays down the field. Fields can make 80-yard plays. So, I like the under a lot better with Taylor in there than with Fields.
Yeah, I think that's fair. All right, let's jump to game number 2 on the slate here. The Texans, one of the better defenses in the league. Who knows? Maybe I don't know if it's the best, but they're up there against San Francisco. That was a good win for San Francisco last week. This one, you can get a variety of lines here depending on the book, which tends to happen when you get in that 2 range. But DraftKings, you're only laying 1.5 with the Texans at home. The total is 41.5 over at DraftKings -105. What do you like? I think you nailed that one last week.
No, I didn't. Not this one.
No, Houston.
Yeah,
the Monday night game.
San Francisco, I did not.
No. I think we were both off on that. But
I have a similar opinion on this. Is my number 1 bet this week.
Perfect. All right, let's hear it. What do you like?
I like the Texans to win this game. San Francisco, as I've stated 100 times, they're really beat up. I just don't see how they keep pulling this off other than Penix playing like shit last week. Houston, I don't think Houston's going to have much trouble stopping San Francisco's offense. I think this is another under, even on the 41.5. But I think Stroud's going to be able to do a little bit here against San Francisco. I think Houston wins.
I'm with you on this one as well. I got this line at Houston -3. Mm-hmm. So I think that's I think they're getting. I think Houston's being undervalued in the market just because the offense has looked so bad, and they have looked bad. I mean, but I think this defense is good enough I agree. I think they shut down San Francisco. I don't expect Houston to really put up a ton in the game, but I think this is an under as well. I like Houston in the under. I just think the value that we're getting on Houston. I think the perception here is that Houston is worse than they are.
We've come full circle. Houston was overvalued at like
100%,
like a motherfucker early in the year, and it's flipped.
Yeah, I don't
because
have the
their
numbers.
defense is. It's because people think about Stroud's not that good, but the defense is very good.
Their defense actually. You know, I look at I love looking at that the passer rating differential for both teams. Their passer rating actually improved last week in a game that they gave up 27. That was more of the fact that the offense really probably contributed more to that 27 points.
And a lot of it was at the end, but yeah.
Yeah. And they were the number one team in passer rating given up at 70. They're down in like 68 now. I don't have it in front of me, but so they've actually improved. And I was shocked at how well Stroud was over 100. I assume he went down last week. I'll have to look at it, but it's better than you think. So I think this Houston team, I think you're 100% right.
Well, Stroud, I think his number is inflated by the Baltimore game.
There's no doubt about that. The Baltimore game, and that has skewed their value here.
But it's not like it didn't happen. That happened. You know,
it did happen, but it's still only one game now, and they've played. How many games do they have there? They've got 6 games under their belt. It's 1 out of 6 games, and it did happen. Hey, the Rams played Baltimore, and they didn't. You know, they didn't put great. They didn't light it up. You know, they beat them, but they didn't score 40. You know, without Lamar in there. So I like Houston though. I'm with you on this. I like Houston and the under. I'm glad you like that as a strong play. Because I like that one as well. All right, let's head to New England. Drake May playing as well as any quarterback in the league. They're going to be a touchdown favorite here. -7, -105 for the Pats at home in Foxborough against Cleveland. Over 40.5, -115. Get those lines over on DraftKings. What do you think here with Drake May and the Patriots against that tough Browns defense?
You know, with such a low total, yeah, this is something you preach on a lot. You tend to lean toward a dog when it's of this size, and Cleveland's shown that they can stop pretty much anybody. And I think that New England's line may be a little inflated now after how well they've played the last 4 weeks. So I like Cleveland here, but I also like the over. I just think it's a little too low. I don't think the Browns are going to have that much trouble scoring. I mean, they scored a fuck ton last week. So, you know, I like Cleveland. I like over.
You like the over. Okay. I've got this one right at 7, so I can't make too much of a call here on the side. I think this game goes under though. I really like this Cleveland defense. You know, and I would lean Cleveland because of that. I think they've been able to stay in these games, like you said, but tough call for me as far as the side. I just think this one is too close to where my numbers are, but I've got this at 30. What I got it at 37 on the total. I'm sorry, even less, 36 on the total.
But it's another situation where it's a different quarterback that's only
different quarterback. Yeah, no doubt. But I still like this one. I think to go to the under. I don't think there's that big of a difference here. I don't think it's a 4-point edge on the as far as the quarterback goes on this total. So I'm gonna stick this one to the under. And you like the Browns? You said
Browns.
Yeah, I'll lean that way. Don't have a strong opinion on it, but I'll go with you on that. I'll take the Browns. All right, here's one. If you could have a must-win game early in the season, I think Baltimore's in that situation now. They're pretty much all going to be must-wins for Baltimore. I think they could probably afford to lose one game from here on out and make the playoffs. I think that's how they have to look at it, and they certainly don't want it to be this one.
Depends how bad Pittsburgh does. If Pittsburgh loses again this week, then they're only 2 games out if they win this.
Yeah, certainly, but you're certainly not going to rely on that.
Yeah.
If you're Baltimore, I mean, they're looking at this. They've got to run the table. I think they got to at least get to 10 wins and feel like they've got a shot. 11 will definitely get them in. But they're hosting the Bears, who are obviously playing well on a little bit of a run themselves. 6.5 is the spread. -105 over on DraftKings if you like the Ravens. Over 49.5 is -112 with the on the over on DraftKings. So what do you like here? Baltimore getting Lamar back.
Yeah, I think that if they had played this game 2 weeks ago, the spread would have been like fucking 12. So, and Baltimore I mean, I don't put any stock in how they've played without Lamar. It doesn't really matter to me. So I like Baltimore huge here. This is my second biggest one this week is on Baltimore. I think they blow them out. I think they put up 35, 40 points. I think the game goes over. I think Baltimore wins.
And you like the over 49.5.
Yeah.
So you like a lot of points here. Yeah, I mean it's tough to not like this game to go over. I've got this game. I think my favorite side of this game is the over. I'm with you on that. I think it's tough. I mean, if you look at this, if you strictly just take how the teams have played and without adjusting, I've got Baltimore as a 1-point favorite. Now you've got to adjust that. It depends. I think. What do you think the line wound up being? It was like 11. The last line they went from like 9, then they adjusted it I think to 11 in the second game without Lamar. That still might have been a little under adjusted. What do you think if Lamar is out today? Is it 12? I mean, is this line
the Bears would be it would flip to the Bears -6.
Right. So we're looking at about a 12-point swing with Lamar, which is what I agree. I agree with that. So if that is the case, I would have this at 7.5 on my line. So I agree with you on that. I think 12 is about the right number. I have Baltimore here minus the 7.5. So I would take Baltimore and the over. I agree. I think with their backs up against the wall, I think they get a real shot in the arm with Lamar coming back. They will put points up. I don't think they're going to really necessarily stop the Bears all that much either. I just don't know if the Bears can really hang with Baltimore. They may not punt in this game.
The Bears defense is just it's every bit as bad as Baltimore.
It is. And against what I mean, look, the first two games, there was nothing wrong with that offense with Lamar in there. I expect them to just kind of pick up right where they left off. And again, like I said, I don't expect a whole lot of punting in this game, and certainly not on the Baltimore side. So I like this game to go over, and I'll lay that 6.5. I agree. I think you're right. When you say 2 weeks ago or like week 2, this was easily a double-digit spread, easily. So I think we're getting some value here on the Baltimore side. All right, we go to Atlanta, where they host the Dolphins here. Atlanta coming off that disappointing game last week in San Francisco. They do play a little bit better at home. The line is more than a touchdown, 7.5, minus 115 at DraftKings. 44.5 over is minus 115. What do you think here with the Falcons? Do they bounce back against a Miami team that is obviously in a bit of shambles?
Yeah, I like Atlanta here. I don't think Miami's going to be able to score like pretty much at all. Atlanta's defense has looked good the whole season. They've been top 5 after every week. One of the best units in the league. I think we're looking at a 24-6, 24-9 type deal here. I like Atlanta and under.
We're on the right, or I hope it's the right side, but we're on the same side. Yeah, I like Atlanta here. I've got this one actually. I've got the line at 11 for Atlanta, and I just don't see this Atlanta defense will not give up more than 2 touchdowns. I don't think in this game to Miami. I think they'll be able to put points up on the board against this Miami defense. Yeah, Miami's going to struggle. I think the game goes under as well. We've got 44
and a half, really high.
I think it's a high number. I've got this at 41. So I do like this one to go to the under as well. I'm with you on that. Give me Atlanta and the under. We do that. We've been doing that a lot, taking that the big favorite and unders in some of these games. But yeah, it seems justified in this one. I just don't see Miami putting many points up on the board. All right. Hey, your boys, Carolina, without Bryce Young.
No BY.
Yeah, it doesn't look like BY will be in. They are. Hey, we were laughing, or at least I was. We couldn't believe that Carolina was a favorite last week on the road, but proved to be
the defense, man.
No, I know. It's not that I was shocked. Not that they shouldn't have been. I think it's shocking that if you came into the season and said, yeah, Carolina's going to be a favorite on the road at some point this year, we wouldn't expect it, but they're playing well. The record is, look, in the NFC, who knows? Right now, there's not too many teams really establishing themselves as dominant.
I mean, we're not winning anything, but if we could get to 9 wins, it could make it.
Absolutely.
Because with Tampa having all these injuries, you know, if they start going in the toilet, like if New Orleans were to win this game this week, which I think they easily could.
Oh yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a tall order this week. They go from a road favorite to a home dog as they host the Bills. They're getting 7 at home here. 46.5 is the total. Minus 108 if you like the home team here on DraftKings, and minus 108 to the over 46.5. What do you think? Are we just not giving Carolina enough respect? I mean, Buffalo has not looked good in their previous 2. They're coming off they had the bye last week, right? Coming off the bye.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I like Buffalo. I think that Carolina still is, you know, I don't like our quarterback situation very much. So a team with Josh Allen ultimately is going to be a rightful 7-point road favorite here. I don't think Carolina's going to be able to score very much on Baltimore or on Buffalo's defense. So definitely leaning toward the under along with the Bills.
See, I think Carolina's going to be able to move the ball on the ground. You'd like to see a little bit more Dowdle. Maybe, you know, if it's Dalton as we expect it to be, maybe they will focus a little bit more on the ground. Dalton, look, he's serviceable. I mean, he's gonna, you know, he's not going to go out there and maybe necessarily win you the game, but he probably won't lose you the game either. What do you think the number is here? That's really always the question. Backup quarterback. How do we adjust this line? What do you think?
I think this particular situation is like maybe a point or point and a half.
Yeah, I don't think it's much at all either. So I mean, I've got this one pretty close to even. I'll give the slight edge here to Baltimore on the spread. I'll give
Buffalo.
Did I say Baltimore? Buffalo. Yeah.
I said Baltimore too.
Okay. Oh, okay. There you go. That's why I did it. Yeah, I think it's too many points. I don't think Carolina's getting the respect that they deserve. I think this is I think this is more of we're looking at the jersey, the names here, and just assuming Buffalo. If you just look at the way Buffalo has played so far this year, and how Carolina has improved. I know. Look, they're going to miss the quarterback. I don't think, like we said, it's going to be a major difference in the game. I certainly don't think it's enough to move the line all the way here to +7. I like the Panthers getting 7 points at home. Which way did you like this on the total?
Under.
You like the under? I have a lean here to the under as well. So I like the under. Typically, like I said, we didn't go that way in the other game, but if we're going to take the under,
it also could be it could be a pacing thing because both of these teams are going to want to run the fucking ball into the ground. So
I think the Panthers will be successful running the ball, and I think that's how this game stays tight. And not shocked if the Panthers pull off the upset here. I think there's a lot more problems with the Bills than maybe the market is really seeing. So I like the Panthers here. Maybe sprinkle a little money line action on the Panthers. How do you like that? Unfortunately, they're not going to be a big. They won't be a big survivor play just because.
Because of the circumstances this week.
Exactly. So not that I know what's going to happen, but if that did happen, it really wouldn't destroy anyone or too many people in Survivor. Next week for the Bills, I think is the big one, right? Or week 8 or week 10. Week 10 is going to be a big one.
Didn't they have the one against the Saints? Everybody took the Bills.
A lot of people took the Bills. It's week 10 is a tough week. I think like Denver and the Bills were the two like touchdown or projected to be touchdown.
I think I've burned both of those in like all of my remaining.
Exactly. Well, when we get to week 10, we'll see what we got to do. But there's a lot of teams. I think we still have Seattle left in that. Because Seattle would be like
there's a chance. Like I'd have to look. I think one has Seattle left.
Yeah. Well, let's hope we can get there. Survivor. You start looking.
Yeah, worry about it when you get there.
Exactly. You start looking too far out, and you never get to where you're hoping. Where you're looking. So, all right, let's go. Big rematch here. Philly, they just played 2 weeks ago. Philly's hosting the Giants. Philly just got absolutely embarrassed 2 weeks ago on the Thursday night game. Looked like, they just got punched in the face and had no answer for the bros from the Meadowlands. Minus 7.5 is +100, even money over at DraftKings for Philly. 43.5 minus 118 if you take the over. In this game, what do you think? You think Philly just kind of bounced? Now Philly has yet to they have not out yardaged or outgained an opponent yet this year. Can they do that again and cover 7.5 against a team that just beat them a couple of weeks ago?
I think so. Jalen Carter will be playing this week. Obviously, the Giants looked great last week, right up until they didn't. That was a crazy ending. But I don't think Philly is like if they had played this game, because Philly was laying this much on the road 2 weeks ago, and now it's this at home. Like I can't wrap my head around that. It doesn't like I get it because they lost so bad, but to me that's just one data point. I like the Eagles here.
I think it's more, I think they're looking at that game last week, and obviously the Giants probably should have won that game. And Philly just still, if you look at the Philly game last week, I mean, Minnesota, I think, got in the red zone 7 times, and just it was mostly field goals.
When Hawkinson that touchdown got called back,
it was
but
tough.
They made a lot of explosive plays on offense.
They did. Well, that's the thing that we're seeing from Philly that we haven't really seen is getting the wide receivers involved here.
Take the ball deep, take the top off the defense.
And we're not seeing any Barkley.
Nope. I think Barkley might be cooked. 480 touches last year. He might just be fucked.
They used him a lot in New York as well. Yeah, I mean, when it happens to a running back, it happens pretty abruptly. So that you may be right. I mean, that could be it. But yeah, this is not even remotely the Barkley of last year. And if you don't have Barkley, let's just assume Barkley he's not average. But let's put him back to me, it puts the Eagles back to what they were in 2023. And statistically,
they're a little better than that.
But they didn't. Yeah, I think they may be a little better. But when you looked at them, their record was phenomenal. They weren't showing really well on my rankings because just statistically,
and then they lost all the games at the end of the year. Yeah,
and then they limp home at the end of the year. They get knocked out in the playoffs. Last year, they really projected well, and I think it's Barkley. And I think with Barkley not playing as well as he did last year, they're much closer to me to that 2023 team than they are to the 2024 team. You get that. I listen, Philly's obviously going to be up for this game. It's a divisional game, and they just lost to this team 2 weeks ago. So I don't think there's going to be any surprises. But I still think, and you're right, this line would have been double digits if they played at home 2 weeks ago. But I think the adjustment is correct. I'm taking the Giants here plus the 7 and the hook. I still think it's too many points. I put this one at 5. Which side did you like as far as the total?
I think it goes over. I mean, the last one was 51. I think the Philly's going to be able to score more than 17 this time.
I don't disagree with that. I think this game, I think both teams get at least into the mid 20s. I'm going to take the over as well. I like the over quite a bit. I've got this one. I think the total should be about 46 on my calculations. So we're going to differ on the side here. I'm going to take the points, but I will take the over with you, over the 43.5, or even the 44 if you want to get it minus 110 at a lot of books right now. All right, New Orleans. You mentioned this game earlier. They're hosting the Bucks. They're getting points at home here, 4.5, minus 112 on New Orleans, plus that 4.5 at DraftKings, 46.5 to the over, minus 110. Tampa banged up, sort of. Look, they were riding high there, 5-1. They get a little bit of a reality check going into Detroit last week. This is a big game for them. You stumble here, and the team that everyone was so high on 2 weeks ago now is going to start to question. Do the injuries hurt them against a New Orleans team that really has been? The record hasn't shown all that much, but they've really been able to keep themselves in a lot of games, play hard. Do we like the home team getting points against that division rival, Tampa?
Yeah, I really like New Orleans again this week. Tampa, it's a similar situation as San Francisco. They're just so beat up. And, as I said last week, Lions was my top one. Tampa, I think, is massively overvalued right now. And I think I'll probably be fading them for the foreseeable future, especially now that Evans is cooked. I don't believe in the Buccaneers offense anymore. So I like New Orleans, and I like the under 47.
Yeah, I've got this at 3 with the adjustment. So I would say I have a slight lean here. I do like the 4.5 with New Orleans. I'll take that as well. I would not be shocked to see New Orleans win this game, quite honestly. I think while Tampa was a good story here early, certainly down here, people getting excited about Tampa. I've got a feeling here they lose this game outright. I'm going to take the 4.5. I think the total. I'm sorry, I missed what you had on the total.
I have the under because the Bucks offense. I don't think is going to be able to score that much.
I've got it at 46, and then if I adjust it, I'm probably going to have to adjust it slightly to the under. I don't love the total all that much. I don't love the game that much. But yeah, I would side with you. I think the under is probably the lean I would take, and New Orleans I'll feel a little bit better about. I'm going to take New Orleans plus the points and the under, so we're on the same side of that one. All right, we talked about this one as well. I don't know if we saw Indianapolis being a 2-touchdown favorite at any point in the year coming into the season, but here we are, 14.5-point favorites home against Tennessee. 47.5 is the total, minus 115. I mean, look, the Colts have been maybe the best offense in football so far this year. It's tough to say they aren't. The defense could be spotty at times, but this line, as you mentioned, has gone up from the open. I think the Sharps really came in, hammered this one early at the opening number of 12.5 to move it up to that 14.5 number where we're sitting now. What do you think? Is it just moved too much for you to like the favorite, or are you still going to take the Colts here and lay this big wood?
I still like the Colts. I'm not sure they can set this number high enough. I think it may get to 17. You see Circa move to 15.5. I don't see how the Titans are going to stop them, and the Titans offense looks putrid. I do like the over, but I think the Colts might just get it by themselves.
Yeah, I think the Colts are going to have to do a lot of the heavy lifting here to get this one over the 47.5. I've got it right at 47 on my numbers, and I've got it right at 15. So I mean, I think this is where it should be. I think the time to get this line was earlier when you could have got it maybe at the 12.5.
But when you get into these big spreads, it can scale weird.
That is true. Yes, that is 100% true. The difference between it's 2 touchdowns, though. In football, it's a little bit different.
Look, the difference between 3 points and 14 points is a lot more than the difference between 14 points and 25 points.
Yes, that is true. It's just all about the distributions and whatnot. Yeah. You'll see this more in basketball. Like once you get to those, the 18 points and 23 points in a college basketball game.
Like if you have a basketball game graded graded 20 and the spread's 18, that's not. I'm not sure that's a bet.
Exactly. Yeah. No. There's just it should be intuitive, but yes. In football, the distribution is not quite as it's not quite what it is in basketball, where
pro football is not. College football is.
College football is correct. In pro football, it is not. Obviously, a college basketball game. I mean, you're a 24-point favorite. You could win that game easily by 40, 50 points, and that's not going to happen necessarily. And hey, who knows? The Colts could win this game by 40 points, but just to give you an idea on my numbers, like I said, 15 and 47 are my numbers, pretty much where the market is at. So I don't have a strong lean. I hate laying this many points to begin with, but yeah, if I had to here, if I was in a pool where I had to pick every game, it's tough to pick Tennessee. I would take the Colts as well. I guess I would have to take the over. I just hate the game overall, but yeah, the Colts are going to have to score in the 30s to get this one, which they're kind of projected to do. They're going to have to get this one up into, I think, the mid-30s, and then the game goes over.
The team totals, 31.5?
I think that I'd rather, before I took the over, I would just take the Colts over.
Yeah, I like the spread more than that, though.
You do? Yeah.
I think they could easily cover and go under. I mean, 31-3, would that surprise you?
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I mean, the lifting's going to, and the thing with the Colts too here in this game is, look, the offense has been great. They've got the best running back in football right now, and they can easily get up 21 points here early and just lean on the running back. And
they can go downhill so quick. It snowballs real fast.
It can, yeah, but they could also take the air out of the ball too.
Right.
And so that's my fear here on the over, with the running. And I don't think, who knows? If this game does get out of hand, how long do they stick with Taylor too. Do you want to abuse him all that
Or
much?
N Jones. Yeah.
Exactly. Do you want to abuse? I think that's the tricky part with DFS, and we'll be digging deeper into that.
And Taylor costs a fortune in DFS, so
Taylor does.
Yeah.
No, it's such a good matchup. You just worried about the game script. I mean, he could score 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. I mean, in this one. All right, let's go to maybe a little bit more of a shootout type of game, at least on paper here. The Broncos home. They get the Cowboys coming in. These the Cowboy games are always big totals. And this one,
we love the Cowboys.
We get over 50.5 minus 112 to the over on DraftKings. The Broncos, after a pretty amazing comeback there against the Giants, they were getting shut out going into that fourth quarter. They come back and win it. 33. What did they score? 33 points in the fourth quarter. They're laying 3.5 at home. Boy, the Broncos, tough team to figure out.
They had looked terrible for 7 quarters in a row before that. Because you go back to the Jets game, they looked awful. And then
explode. What do you think here? The one thing, Dallas, we could figure out a whole lot more than Denver. We know the defense is god awful, and we know that offense is almost as good as anybody. So at least we know that. Which Denver team shows up, I think, is the question mark here. But 3.5-point favorites. You like Denver to kind of rebound play a little bit better out the gate in this one than they did last week?
No. I you know how I am with these high variance games. I love the over in this game. My favorite play in this game is the over. And in these types of situations, give me the dog, especially over a field goal all day, and Dallas money line, because I think when the score gets up into the 30s, it's kind of random who wins sometimes, or the better quarterback will win, and the better quarterback's on Dallas. So I'm going with the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think the best side of this game is the total, and I agree with you to the over. We liked that. We've liked a lot of the Dallas games to the over. We liked that over last week, and they got that one up into the 60s. Really,
I wish every showdown slate was the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, and we got Jaden Daniels knocked out of that game. Still got that one to the over fairly easily. I'm in agreement with you here on the over. I think the over is the better side. I've got this one at 4 on my numbers. I think it's obviously real close to that 3.5. So I don't.
It opened at 5 and came down.
It did. I think it's pretty close to the number. I don't disagree with you with the high variance. You do want to kind of take the points in a game like that. So I would lean Dallas with you. But I think the stronger play for me, at least, is the over. Factor in Dallas. Aubrey might kick one from 75 yards this
yeah, that I feel like they want to try it just to do it.
He's if they have the opportunity, that's like extra points at the half. Yeah. If they have that opportunity, he's going to be able to kick from there. I think you might not even usually that's an end of the half type of play because you don't want to give up the field.
You might just do.
Why not just do it? Anywhere you get.
Because if he misses, they get the ball in your own 30.
Yeah, but who cares? Your defense sucks anyway.
That's true. That's true.
Would do it in that situation. He's almost. The leg is not a problem, and he's pretty damn near.
I think this is out of every single game football I've ever watched. This is the most likely that we get a drop kick.
I don't know. No, we had the drop kick years ago.
Right, but I'm saying we might get a drop kick in this game.
Man, they could. Who knows? But I'm telling you, we're getting a 70-yard field goal. There's going to be they're going to have no qualms about putting them out there.
Oh no.
And again, why wouldn't you?
Fuck it. Right. Yeah, fuck it.
They're going to move the ball 20, 30 yards anyway on you in a blink.
Yeah.
Just kick the damn field goal. It's one of the rare. The analytics are going to be.
And the idiots might return it, which would be dumb, but they might.
They couldn't return. Oh, you mean return like a punt? They couldn't.
Yeah, I'm saying if he kicks the field goal, they might be dumb and put a guy back there rather than just taking.
That's true too. He's going to kick it 80 yards in Denver. There's no doubt. He hits the back. That one he hit against the Giants, he hit the damn net. It was what did he hit it from 60?
64, yeah.
And he hit the net. So what is he going to do in Denver? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I'll be looking forward to that. I haven't looked at any kicking props. I don't know if anyone's got them, but they're probably pretty. Yeah, crazy.
I'm sure that we can get a prop on whether he breaks the record in this game or not.
Yeah, it's just a matter of opportunity because I think he's gonna if he lines up, he's making it.
Yeah.
He's an insane weapon. But all joking aside, I think that does add to the total here as well. And so I do like the over for the this Cowboy Bronco game. All right, let's head to the night game, prime time. Get a little everyone's looking forward to this one because Rodgers gets to play the Packers, and we've got Steelers home. They're getting 3 to the Green Bay Packers here. 3 minus 115 plus the 3 on DraftKings. You're laying 115 if you want to go over 45.5 in this game. What do you think with Aaron Rodgers against his old team? He's not a guy who really seems to hold grudges. So I don't know if he's necessarily really cares. He doesn't seem like the type of guy who gets too excited about this sort of thing.
I think this game, my favorite bet on this game is over. I think it's going way over. Pittsburgh's offense has been pretty fucking good so far this year. I'm shocked by it. I was expecting it to be the opposite, and their defense has been putrid. So I love the over here. And gun to my head, it's a similar situation to the last game we talked about. Give me the team when it's going to be a shootout. Give me the team that is the underdog on the money line, Pittsburgh money line over 45.5.
Yeah, I got a slight lean to the over. Not strong. You're going to take Pittsburgh then?
Yeah.
You like the variant. So you think there's a lot of points in this game, and then you take and you're going to take the Steelers. I mean, I've got it should be 4. It's at 3. So I'll lean here towards the Packers. I don't see it going as crazy to the over as you do. Sounds like maybe you want to put some ladder bets in here on the over. I mean, it's only 45.5.
It's already gone up 2.5 points.
Yeah. Well, they always find the water always rises to what's the finds its level.
Devin, that's true. Pittsburgh's on 10 days rest also.
They are. Yeah, these numbers at this point, they've gotten really close to where my numbers are. So you got to kind of catch them early in the week to get some value here. But yeah, how high are you taking this thing on alt lines to the over if you really like
I'd go up to 50.5.
50.5.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I have a slight lean to the over. JBC absolutely loves the over. So I guess over it is. And you're going to take the Steelers here. I will I'm going to take I'm just going to lean Green Bay on the road, but yeah, I don't love it. You could totally see Rodgers just go off in this game. I could see it happening. But I'm going to stick with my numbers here. I'll take the slight lean. I've got it a point better in favor of Green Bay, so I'll stick to that side. Let's head over to Monday night, and it's my birthday that day. Monday night game.
57.
I'm like, I knew it was a special day.
67. 6-7.
6-7. My niece said I'm allowed to do it because I'm cool.
Oh,
She
there you
told
go.
her mom, absolutely not. Stop.
I'm
doing
trying I'm trying to think of how old you act. I think you're 52, right?
Yeah. That's it. Not yet, man. Don't
I'll
rush
have to get you another cameo, but it can't be from Lanny. It can't be from Lanny. Rip Lanny.
No, I know. Well, I know,
but I'm saying I can't get a return one from Lanny.
You sent me the Big Papa Pump, which was great.
No, I know. I need to get one from Bronson or his son. What's son's name?
Yeah.
That plays for Jacksonville State. I forget his name. I need to get it from the son.
That would be pretty funny. Yeah, I guess nowadays, yeah, I'm sure he's on there. I haven't gone on Cameo. I got to find a good one. Yeah, nothing's.
Thank you, Snyder. What a nice guy.
Nothing beats the Lanny Poffo brother. That was a good one that I sent you.
Classic.
You're gonna have to find that one and post it.
Yeah. Oh, I have before. It's fucking incredible.
All right. Serious stuff now. Kansas City. Boy, this line. Yeah. I've actually never been to, I know exactly, obviously, what he's talking about. I've never actually been in Odyssey. But
what?
I have not.
I thought you'd been to every strip club in the city multiple times.
Odyssey's off it's off US 19, I believe.
It's a little too far away for you.
Or maybe Oasis.
You and Sully hit Oasis?
I have not been to Oasis either. I've been to a few of the ones in Tampa. Well, with Teddy Hart. So Teddy Hart.
With Teddy.
Oh, my God. Speaking of wrestling.
Yeah.
Well,
Braun Breaker, exactly.
I could do a whole show on when I ran into Teddy Hart at the club, and then wound up on a 3-day bender with Teddy Hart, and then realized that this guy might be a murderer. I'm like, I gotta get my distance away. I've got to keep my distance from this guy. When I started looking him up on YouTube, I'm like, yeah, I think this guy actually he's got an ex who's missing in Miami. And there's a whole documentary on him on Peacock. So,
this is also true. All right, how involved were you with Chauncey Billups?
It's funny when I started hearing the mobs. I'm like, I am so far out of that world these days. Like, I don't know what's going on up there much. But and I'm like, yeah, I can't even believe that they're still involved in a lot of that stuff. Yeah, I don't have any.
Does it really shock you that much?
No, I'd like, because my assumption is most of the guys up there are more. It's not like the old days. There were some bright, for that world. There were some intelligent people there. I don't know what I don't know. I'm speaking out of my ass because I know as much as anyone. I don't know any of the players anymore, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe they weren't geniuses because obviously this was a big. I don't know how you could get involved in that world. Let's just put it that way. In today's day and age,
it has to be blackmail, right?
Well, that's so. I don't want to. A buddy of mine who played in MLB said that the FBI had come to them in '99. He was playing in '99, and the FBI had, I guess, they'd shown up to every clubhouse in like spring training and said, "Listen, one of the players was out in the club in New York, got roofied by the mob, and then they set him up. They put him in bed with like a dude or something like that. Took pictures and then blackmailed him. And they're like, yeah, just be careful when you go out and who you're associating with. So this was so who knows, that could have been a thing here.
They do that shit in Venezuela and Colombia with the players' families all the fucking time.
Yeah, no, you've got to look. I've hung out around some fairly shit. I mean, if you really want to get into like the early days, I mean, I was 16 going to bars that were all mob run because I was 16. The mob really doesn't care how old you are when you go to their bar. It was I didn't have a driver's license yet. And so you hang out in those places. And matter of fact, if you watch Goodfellas, the place that they burned down, the Bamboo Lounge.
Mm-hmm.
So that place was later called, it was a different name, of course, later on, but and we used to have a lot of like Sweet 16s and stuff in that place, but across the street was like an underground bar, sort of a strip club. You wouldn't call it a traditional strip club.
Right.
They had two girls would dance like behind.
It was like
the
gay
bar.
90s. It was like gay 90s.
No. It was a little different than that place, but yeah, it was. I could tell you. I mean, the stories like, and it was great though. You'd sit next to a guy and he'd have, if you needed whatever type of clothing you needed. The jumpsuits for sure. They always had good jumpsuits. You needed a jumpsuit. Fuck yeah! I never wear a helmet. By the way, I don't even want to get into that helmet. But I see these people. They're riding 5 miles an hour on their bike, and they've got the helmet on. And I'm like, come on, man. Where are you going? You're on a bike trail. You're not in the street. But I got to get Chris on, who my buddy Chris. The stories of when we used to go to the bars and those bars were all one. They would have Brazilian girls. There'd be two of them dancing behind the bar. It was great. It was like I could go in there. I could gamble. I could at 16 before you could even drive. I could bet. I could play the box pools on Monday Night Football. It was good times, man. And walking distance. Then Giuliani had to ruin it all. He came in there and he started shutting these places down. God damn it. We needed Dinkins where all the debauchery was allowed. Giuliani
Eric Adams. Well, you saw the quote when they found Eric Adams in like a late night hookah lounge, and they asked him about it, and he was like, "I'm mayor of the city with the best nightlife in the world. I got to sample all of it." That's what he fucking said.
It's the truth, man. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I don't know how many of the stories I actually want to tell, but there's some good stories in there. Chris will tell you a story that I have to bring him on at one time. He tells a story to this day that never happened. Not that I care, but it never actually happened. But he loves telling this story.
I love those. Those are the best kinds.
Yeah, it just never happened. But he thinks, he tells it now like it really did. But no, man, the people you would meet in those places, it was just like the movie, man. Just sitting in there, you'd buy electronics, you could buy suits. When I started working I get my suits from these guys. It was fantastic. But anyway, we do have a game here. One last game to go over. Washington at Kansas City, 12.5. And what's the total on this one? We've got 47.5. Yeah. Minus 112 at DraftKings. What do you like?
Kansas City looks fucking incredible. Now with all their guys back, they've got Pro Bowlers up and down the receiving court. Kelsey's like the fucking fifth option now. It's nuts. An embarrassment of riches, so to speak. And without Jaden Daniels for the Commanders, I don't see them keeping up. It's similar to the game last week to me, which nailed the Kansas City and the under. I think we're going for another Kansas City and under.
Yeah, obviously my number is going to be a little bit closer because Kansas City, we're factoring a lot. Kansas City before now they've gotten a bit more healthy, and then you've got to factor in the Jaden Daniels. I think the number is actually pretty close to where it should be. But I'm going to agree with you. It's a similar situation, I think, to that Indianapolis game. I think Kansas City just rolls this team. Mariota against this defense, I think that's the most I'm worried about is really what Washington's going to be able to do offensively against Mariota. Which way did you like this game to on the total? Which side did you like?
Under.
I like this under as well. I think that's a stronger play for me. I think Kansas City covers the game, but I'm not going to get too. It's still a big number, 12.5. I think this game stays under. I don't think Washington really is going to be able to do much at all. I think that 47.5 is just way too high of a number. I've got this down at 46 if Jaden Daniels was playing. So I would have this even lower without Jaden Daniels in the game. So I like this one. I think it's a fairly strong play to the under. All right. That is it for the game. Let's get a pick six in here. Let's try to win one of these.
Well, hold on. Adam's right here. The key to telling a good story, if it's not true, is to tell it the same way every time, and then you convince yourself it's real.
Well, in his mind, he believes it. And again, it's like, who cares? I'm not going to tell the story here, but yes, in his mind, he absolutely believes it and loves just telling it to, like, he thinks he's going to embarrass me, which I guess maybe, depending on who he tells it to, it would be a little embarrassing. But yeah, no, it's that is 100% true. That's where that's where criminals, that's where you always, you eventually mess up that's why the cops will ask
you got to tell the story the same way every time.
Yeah, the cops will ask you the same question 5 times.
Did you see Chauncey Billups when he got arraigned? He wore a Clutch Sports hoodie. LeBron's agent.
That's you sent me I don't even want to get into LeBron, but I'm sure he's not involved in any nefarious way, but
all right.
It's a crazy situation. All right. What do you like?
God, look at this shit.
What's that?
Jonathan Taylor, 101.5.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to take under just on principle.
I'm pissed. I almost took the Judkins under last week. I was real close to it, and then the weather got me off. Not on this, but on my prop bets. And he had a great game, but he did go under. He was like he was in the 90s. I think he scored. I think he rushed for 84. And I kind of talked myself out of it. But
all right, I'm gonna start here with this number's crazy. Jackson Dart 37.5. I will go under on Woody Marks, 36.5 rushing yards.
All right, I got one ready for you. Give me Josh Allen's passing yardage. Let's see. And give me the less than 227.5.
Under 227.5 for Josh Allen. Okay. Next, I'll go with I'll go with Ramondre under 48.5.
All right. I'm going. I think this number is a little high. Cincinnati. Let's go with Flacco. His passing yardage to the under. I think it's 237.5.
244.5.
I'm sorry, 244.5. I've got it at 237. Yeah, 244.5. That actually, I think that just changed. Actually, I think it was,
maybe.
Yeah.
So what? Okay, Woody Marks under, Allen under, Stevenson under, Flacco under. Let's see here. Oh yeah. CeeDee Lamb over 74.5.
I like it. I'm going to give you one. I'm going to give you a game script one. That Tennessee Daniel Jones. Let's go under his completions. I think we get a little. He may not play the whole game. Plus, they get up in this game and kind of pound it and pound the ball with Taylor. So they're not going to be in a losing situation where he's got to throw it a lot. Let's go with his under completions.
All right. Josh Allen under 227.5 passing yards. Ramondre Stevenson under 48.5 rushing yards. Joe Flacco under 244.5 passing yards. CeeDee Lamb over 74.5 receiving yards. Daniel Jones under 21.5 completions. Or we could add a pick for a 40 Dex. Here we go. You want to do another one?
So you like something? I'll look.
Let's see here. I feel like Javonte Williams to score is good here.
What is it? To score?
Yeah.
Take it.
All right. So adding Javonte Williams to the end of that gives us 100 to win at least 34.63 and 20 cents. And our picks have been submitted.
All right.
We'll throw that on the Twitter.
All right, guys. If you did not like or subscribe to the channel, you got to do that. I think we're supposed to say that on these videos. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff that you guys know you're supposed to do. But for JBC,
Good
I
luck,
am
Matty Ice 704.
yeah. Good luck, Matty Ice. Matty Ice, one of the best in Discord. B McNair, not quite as good, but we do appreciate him. All right, boys. We are out for Rump Pure Sports. Again, I'm Stats. That's JBC. We'll see you next week.